Hi, everyone. I hope you had an amazing day. I was asked by a Patreon to do a video about Kim Biermann and whether she's losing her house and what's going on with all this strange happenings with her house. So there's no doubt that Kim Biermann's house has been in foreclosure a few times for a few different amounts. There's no doubt about that. Here is the first one from October 27, 2022. As you can see, Georgia, Fulton County, under and by virtue of the power of sale contained in a security deed given by Croy Evan Biermann and Kim Biermann to Landmark Community Bank dated December 9th, 2013, recorded in deed blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. A note in the original principal amount of $300,000 with interest thereon set forth therein there will be sold at public outcry to the highest bidder and blah, 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 right? Then there's another one, the one that was recent. The one that was recent, okay? This is like, let's get close here. It's February 8th, 2023. And again, this is different if you'll notice. You see the amount? It's for $1,650,000, not $300,000 like the other one. So there must have been more than one note on this property. And initially, the $300,000 people, called the loan and wanted to go into foreclosure. And then somehow they rectified that. And now there's this one that's $1,650,000, which is a much larger loan note amount. Now, let me read this to you because you're going to notice it's also a different bank. You can read this a little clearer, this copy from the website. So February 22nd, 2023, we've got Fulton County, Georgia again. And this is under the power of sale contained by a security deed given by Croy E. Biermann and Kimberly M. Biermann to SunTrust Mortgage, a different bank, dated October 23rd, 2012, and recorded in deed book 51818, blah, blah, blah. And this one, of course, is for $1,650,000. And it is transferred to Truist Bank successor by merger to SunTrust Bank by assignment. So there's a few possibilities as to why they're still in the property. Just because a bank forecloses on your house doesn't mean that you have to move out right away. In fact, there's a lot of rules around getting someone to leave the home. And if they sell the home at highest bid at auction to someone, it then becomes the new owner's obligation to get that person, whether it be a tenant or the previous owner, out. And there are laws, depending on the state that you're in, on getting someone out of a property that has been living there. So the new owner will have to have a conversation with Biermann's and either say, listen, I'm willing to rent it to you now that you've lost the home for X if you'll pay, and then you can stay. Or I'm not willing to do that. I want to take possession. And then they begin the process of evicting the person. It's time consuming and it can take a long time. It takes years to get a property in foreclosure, and then it takes a long time after that to sell it at auction, and then it takes a huge amount of time after you've been foreclosed on to get you actually out. And if they don't get you out, the new person who takes ownership has to get you out, and it's a huge process in that. So it's possible that Kim and her daughters and her husband, Croy, are squatting. I mean, to put it very simply, and they're going to just maintain their position in the property until they have no other alternative, like meaning everyone's exhausted everything, and finally someone comes and literally tosses them out physically. But by then, I'm sure they'll have gone, like a month before it happens or whatever. But in no way, shape, or form, with this foreclosures happening on both loans related to this property, is everything okay? Okay. Now, maybe Kim has come up with someone who's going to buy the house at auction and give her the opportunity to maintain living there as a tenant. And they have some very rich friends. Maybe someone's going to go and buy the house. But there's a lot of mortgage to pay on this. There's legal fees on both auctions now. There's a $300,000 loan. There's a $1,650,000 loan. There's not going to be any equity left for Kim and Troy. at this point in time with this much debt on the property. So, that'll have to be a really nice friend. Now, the daughters, unfortunately, probably don't really know what's going on. As far as they've been told, I would imagine, by their parents, like, don't worry, kids, for the foreseeable future, we're going to be staying here. Let me play you a clip.
Everyone's talking about the house in Atlanta, your mom. Look, is it
crazy?
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's insane.
Listen, she says it's a giant misunderstanding.
Don't believe everything you hear.
Well, is it a misunderstanding?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I mean,
Just came and packed their clothes to come here from our house.
so your stuff is still in the house?
Yes, everything is still there. We all live there.
And there's no plan on leaving?
Nope.
But the auction, and they're saying March 7th, right?
We'll see you March 7th. We'll see what happens March 7th.
I mean, we've been here, gone through this already in November.
Is there hopes of saving the house?
The house is saved. I don't know.
So your stuff, you guys haven't moved your stuff out of the house? There's no...
We just slept there.
We just slept there last night.
But the court documents, say that the house is going up for auction on March 7th.
I'm not really sure. Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, not what I've been told.
So you're not going to lose the house?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. See you March 7th.
Wait, are we going to see your parents on your show cut off? Is that going to be a thing?
So what's the game plan here? The kids in that clip are at LAX. They flew in from Georgia so that they could start doing something to do with their reality show, obviously. Are they still pitching the show? Has it been bought by someone? Are they, what part in the life cycle process is cut off at this point? Well, let's take a look at IMDb. Here's Ariana Biermann's IMDb, and there's no sign of cutoff on here in development or pre-production. So Magilla Entertainment is supposedly doing this show for cutoff, but they don't have anything on their website about it yet. They do TLC shows and Discovery Plus. Here's one of my favorite shows they do, Long Island Medium. But it's like a lot of this type of stuff. The only one I recognized was the Medium one, probably because I'm not the demographic for some of these shows. But they don't have a cutoff on here yet. So I would assume they're shooting like pilots right now. Maybe they're show running it. But I definitely think Kim is planning on moving to LA to help her daughters to try to make money. There she is. Here's Kim in her grand stairwell. She posted this in late December. Notice the huge amount of weight loss that she has. Some people think she's on Ozempic too. She's talking in this picture that she posted about being sick of the cold weather and making, a big change. Anyway, she sounds like she's still alluding to the cutoff show that she's trying to get going in LA. I mean, I told the patrons this a few weeks ago. I have no doubt that Kim Zolciak Biermann is planning a move to California. I'm talking not buy a house, like rent an apartment, get out there and try to hustle. All of the reality show contacts are really there or New York. She's not going to New York. She's not a New York looking person. You know what I mean? She's going to California. She's losing the weight to try to help the pitches that she's doing to get a reality show going. Everything that she's doing is what you do when you're about to get back on TV or are trying to get back on TV. So this is what I think is happening. And then there was some gossip that Croy and her broke up. That didn't happen. So how did Kim end up here after having such a lavish lifestyle? Pretty easy. I'd say she made a lot of money on her show, but then she spent all of it. And as the Daily Mail brought up, there were several instances of her gambling on her show when she gambled large amounts of money. And that does get everybody in trouble, as we've seen with PK Kemsley from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who had a $2 million debt with Bellagio, I think it was. So it can happen quicker than you think. I also think she didn't expect her show to be canceled when it did with Bravo. And so that huge paycheck being, stopped was massive to the family. The kids were probably getting paid, Croy and herself, and that not coming in, forget it. And I think she probably stopped paying the mortgage from the second the show was canceled. Anyway, she's got to get her hustle on. If she wants to stay in the entertainment business, she's going to have to be in LA championing her daughter's career, because it seems like she's putting her eggs in that basket now and kind of being a mommy manager. And Croy, I don't know what he's doing. Somebody get Croy a job. Besides vacuuming naked in the house, there's got to be something else. You have to appreciate their will to try. I mean, Kim has started more businesses and more genres that have, failed for one reason or another. Either, she wasn't that into it, or the shipping broke, or the company that she worked with went out of business, or it just doesn't seem like she has much luck in the entrepreneurial business of celebrity. So maybe if she can get herself to LA with the girls, she might be able to, get them going in a way to make money. Anyway, Kim, I'm doing my part by talking about you and giving you random press, just like everybody else. And I used to do sponsorship for celebrities. So if you get desperate, give me a call. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And thank goodness it's the weekend. Oh my gosh, you guys. This Sunday's episode, the one you've been waiting for, Dana Wilkie's Part 3 origin story, the juicy one. Oh, also, you guys, if you're in the Patreon, I did a deep dive on Big Papa and Kim Zolciak's sugar daddy from season 1 and 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it will give you a lot of insight into Kim.